Welcome to Gold to Grandmaster, the last YouTube series you'll ever need to learn how to play Hypixel Bridge at the level of a Grandmaster. We are your hosts, ZGRP and Pyrox, and we have over 18,000 wins in the Bridge combined, so rest assured we know what we're talking about. In this series, we'll start out by discussing 1v1 duels, because this will build your game sense and strategy repertoire the most. These skills also apply in 2s, 3s, and 4s, you just have to split the tasks among your teammates. But we'll cover this more later in depth. In this video, we'll explain the basics of the Bridge, a few strategies, and how and when to use those strategies in a game. First, divisions. As you play the Bridge, you'll win sometimes. If you get to these numbers of wins, you will earn a division title that goes next to your name when you chat. To get Bridge Gold, you need 250 wins, and to get Bridge Grandmaster, you need 5,000 wins. People with more wins are more experienced and usually better, so how can you play like a Grandmaster? Let's start with what you should know before you watch this video. The prerequisites, if you will. 1. You have Minecraft on the PC. For better game performance, use Luna Client, Bad Lion Client, or a Forge mod pack for PvP. We use the Luna Client and highly recommend it for everyone. Use the Fulbright mod. 2. Some basic PvP skill. We will not talk about how to W tap, aim your bow, or click your mouse. However, we will discuss specific Bridge-related PvP tips because it's very different from just a boxing duel. Basically, if you can't win a sumo duel, watch some Stimpy or something before you continue. 3. Clicking methods. We will not help you learn how to click fast, but playing at high level requires being able to left and right click your mouse fast. 7 to 9 CPS jitter clicking is the bare minimum to play decently, but 14 to 20 CPS butterfly clicking is the best. On Hypixel, there are 21 maps you can play the Bridge on. When you join a game, a random one is chosen for you. You can learn specific strategies on each map with practice, but we'll make guides for each map soon too. Score a goal by jumping into your opponent's goal and everyone will reset to their side, but the blocks you've placed or broken around the map will stay the same. Score 5 goals before your opponent does, or have more goals by the end of the 15-minute time limit to win. With that all out of the way, how do you go from this guy to this guy? Turns out, these simple tips are all you need. So let's get started. Strategy starts with your hotbar. Customize your hotbar and get comfortable with hotkeying to everything, including your second stack of blocks. These may not be useful now, but when you need more than 64 blocks in one life, this will be essential. Now that you've got your hotbar set, let's get into a game. Whenever you spawn in your cage, eat a golden apple, aka a gap. No exceptions, it's 2 free hearts, take them and move on. You should also eat a gap after almost every fight you win. The only exceptions, right now, are when you're close enough to score before your opponent gets to you, or your opponent is close enough to kill you if you try to gap. Before cages open, you may want to stand somewhere other than the center to avoid being hit by a prebow, which is a strategy we'll cover later. A successful prebow looks like this. On your first rush, you want to focus on winning your first fight.
Yeah, thanks, Z. Real fucking helpful.
Hey, shut up, I'm getting there. The easiest way to win this fight is to hit your opponent off the bridge by stacking up like this. If you're more of a pacifist, you can place a 1, 2, 3 stack and just jump over them. Be warned, if you slow down to stack like this guy, the opponent can simply bypass you.
Yeah, what the f is a bypass?
Great question, simulated viewer. We'll use the word bypass a lot in this series, so let's learn what it means. Bypassing is any movement around the center bridge you take to avoid PvP and, quote, bypass the fight that would otherwise be required to get to the opponent's goal. Let's also define a race. A race is when both players have an opportunity to get to the other player's goal without fighting each other. The simplest bypass is to jump off the bridge and wall run along the side of it, like this. This may look easy, but you will need to practice to get this efficient. You will likely only win this race if you're noticeably closer to your opponent's goal than they are to yours, or if you're playing with a teammate who can defend while you race. This navigating to win a race is called optimizing and will be covered in more detail later. If you win your first fight, you'll be on your opponent's side attacking. If you lose the fight, you'll be back at your spawn defending. Let's start with how to defend. If you can, jump down and fight the opponent. If they're bridging, try to bow them off. If they're close to your goal room, remember to use your drop downs to get into position and fight them before they can score. If you're attacking, your goal is to evade the opponent as you go for the goal. The more fights you take, the more likely you are to die. Bypassing is a good option, but so is using side entrances or stacking up to higher entrances. If you can gain some height on your opponent, it'll be easier to win because you have many more options than them for where to go. Though we'll go into bridge development in more detail in later videos, here's a very condensed overview so you're not totally lost. You want your bridge to be a staircase where you can gain height on your opponent without slowing down, but not empty underneath because this would give your opponent space to bypass. In general, anything that allows you to move around your opponent's side quickly is good map development and anything that allows your opponent to get high ground on you or move around your side quickly is bad map development. This means don't clutch on or build unnecessarily on your side of the bridge, because this can be good for your opponent. Developing the map to work for you is essential. Let's review. Things you should already be comfortable with: how to PvP, shoot a bow, and click your mouse. Things we covered in this episode: customizing your hotbar, when to gap, a few strategies for winning your first fight and turning that fight into a goal. What all of this stuff means. Hey, we also stream every week at these times. We do a bunch of viewer challenges, and we've never missed a chat message, so drop in and say hi. Next episode, we'll go into map development and more, so stay tuned.